The other video cut out by mistake. I'm just gonna post both of these videos back to back. I don't care. Uh, the other one, if the evil kite came into the world, how would you think it wanted the world to look? And how do you think it would feel about the world right now? You think it would be happy how the world is? Fuck yeah, it would be happy. In fact, it wouldn't even have to do nothing. If that evil kite came out of the Avatar world, somehow, whatever, just use your imagination, and it manifested in the real world, it would be like, this is excellence. Look at all look at all this confusion. Did he just kill a bitch on the subway? Excellence. Excellent. Are they trafficking kids? Ooh. I'm on vacation. Actually, I'm on vacation. I don't have to do nothing. The humans are fucking each other up. It's so perfect. Let me get a mimosa. That's exactly what that nigga would be doing. On God. That's because that's the truth. I believe there's a prelude of humanity or something that humanity used to know in Avatar that we now no longer know. That we now no longer practice. We have been disconnected from the spirit world. How many spirits you know? We have been disconnected from the spirit world. We've been disconnected from spiritual practices. Ain't nobody talking about chakras, only because that information is coming back out, because the truth cannot be stopped. Even if it takes 100 years or 10,000 years or whatever, it's going to come back. So the information is making a rise again. But in general, that's not the way things are. That's not what people are practicing, right? So by and large, niggas is not practicing spirituality and spiritual practices. People are not operating in energy of love. They're not doing that. This says, I'm going to do what I want to do. They're operating off the energy of will. They're operating off the energy of evil. They want to do shit for themselves. They have their own ambition. They think they're right. Ego, evil, will. That's where they're operating. Including the president of this nation and any other fucking nation, every fucking body. They're all doing the same thing. They're trying to make their way the way. And when you disagree, now we got a problem. And now it's just conflicts. And none of you are right. That's the point. They can't get to a conclusion because it's not meant. That's not how you get there. That recipe does not lead to a conclusion. It just leads to more chaos. There's no solution in there. The only solution is balance. Which means love has to be reintroduced. It has to take 50% of the stage. And they have to keep doing their cosmic dance. And the kites have to keep fighting. If the kites stop fighting and one wins, or the other wins, it's always going to lead to chaos in the real world, right? One cannot be completely dominant because it's going to lead to something bad happening. They have this represented in Avatar. She said if she won, right, she told Juan when he asked her, why don't you just kill that nigga and then it's goodness forever? That's a very good question. I ask that question to myself, to the universe, and to God all the time. I'm like, look, it's so bad out here. What the fuck? Like, why is the evil things just keep happening? Just smite those niggas and then make it stop. Make it stop. And we're all good. That can't happen. You know why? Because this cosmic balance is part of our existence. It's part and parcel of the experience. It cannot be undone. It must be. It is the way humanity lives and experiences life. Through this balance, which is 50% evil, 50% good. It's always going to be that way. And then it's down to your individual decisions where you want to resonate with and where you want to be the most throughout your life, throughout your individual experience. But that cosmic balance going on up above your head is always going to be like that. One side can't win because just like in the show, she said, I can't do that because even if I did, we may have peace. We'll have 10,000 years of peace. But guess what will happen? Darkness will grow in me. That's what she said. She said, darkness will grow in me and he will return again. So there's no escape. You can't undo. It's not yours to undo. It's yours to participate in the balance. It's yours to understand. Humanity, I believe humanity is a certain degree of test. It's a test being in this world, being in this life. Yes, it surely is. Yes, it is. And you don't need no fucking religion to understand that either. You don't need to say the words God or devil to understand that either. It's a test. This world is constantly doing shit. Everybody's constantly having good and bad experiences. It's a test. Depending on your reaction and what you allow to influence you determines your passing grade. We're supposed to learn something here. What I believe we're supposed to learn is that, first of all, love is necessary. Okay, there's no fucking version of existence where personal satisfaction, which basically amounts to evil, is the end all be all, and it's going to govern everything perfectly, and everything's going to be good by using that power as the primary force behind everything. No, it's not going to be, and you can't do it the other way either, because eventually chaos will just simply sprout again. If you have too much love, for some reason, beyond my understanding, it will give roots, it will give rise to a new chaos. It will keep coming back. Alright? So that when our goal in real world is not to undo this balance. It's to fix the balance and maintain, restore. Right now we need to restore. So fix, restore, but then after that, maintain the balance. That's what we're meant to do. Okay? That means love needs to be remembered. Right now, we've forgotten love. In fact, that's in the Bible. I know we're living in Revelations right now. We're living in end times. And what did it say in Revelations about the hearts of men? That they will grow cold. Your heart represents, they're talking about love. Love has grown cold in this world. That is why we're having more problems. We had problems before. Guess what? You becoming a cold-hearted bitch is not going to make those problems go away. It's going to amplify them. It's going to bring more problems. That's not a solution. Shutting yourself off from the world or just being an asshole, not a solution, not working. I'm telling you, it's not going to work. I don't need to listen to you. Fine. Go try it, nigga. Go try being an asshole and living without love in this world. You will soon find yourself fucked up in some capacity. Believe that. Okay? We need to restore balance, and I think the first way we can get on track to doing that is by understanding spirituality once again. Around my neck, I wear these stones. They're not jewelry. They are not jewelry. Each of these stones is important. This is a rose quartz. This is a piece of shungite. This right here is an orgonite piece. This is my newest piece. And this right here is EMF blocker. It's not shungite. It's another EMF blocker. I actually forgot the name. Apologies. But each of these stones carry, and I got a bunch of stones over there. I got jars. Look at my stones. Hold on. I got jars of rose quartz, amethyst, and quartz right here. So we got quartz. We got some this is my amethyst. And these are rose quartz, and I got some other stones in there. I got some. That's tiger's eye and Vivianite. My Vivianite broke, so I just left it in here. Let all the stones be together. Vivianite's pretty brittle, so even if you get a little piece and you take care of it, it's still probably gonna break, or eventually, you know, it's gonna start falling apart and shit. So those are my stones. We're gonna leave them right here. These stones are not the crux of anything. They're just helpers. They're just aids, right? A stone is not going to help you defeat the balance or do some powerful shit. It's just an amplifier. It's just an assistant. But they're important in a way because they point back to a practice. They give eyes to the fact that we need to practice things like engaging in spiritual activities once again, which includes wearing stones. You go outside is the air in California is poisonous and it's disgusting. If you travel into the mountains, if you travel away from a major city and you look back at the city, you will see a cloud of gunky, dirty fucking air over the city. You're breathing that shit in as well as I am right now. The only difference between us is that I'm filtering that shit out. I eat things and drink things, and I fast, and I clean my body out consistently. If you let anything pile up, no matter what it is, what's it going to do? Accumulate. So if you're not cleaning yourself, out your body physically, regularly, you have accumulated inside of you a bunch of disgusting shit. And even if you can't feel it or see it right now, that does not mean that it's not there. Let's not play games. Just because you can't immediately detect something with your basic human senses doesn't mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that it won't affect you. It doesn't mean that it's not currently affecting you. It's a bunch of shit going on in your body right now and in my body that I cannot consciously tell is happening. But it's happening. Right? So I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear no ignoramus ass person talking about, well, I can't see it. I can't touch it. It's not real. Shut the fuck up. Yes, it is. It's basically all of fucking existence. 99% of the existence is beyond humans' ability to perceive and physically interact with it. So you better get used to the idea that there's a lot of shit beyond your abilities to just immediately sense it with your basic 6 senses. Your senses have been limited deliberately by the dark kites because he does rule this fucking world. Evil is in charge. What's the best way to make sure there's no avatar? No humans is talking to no fucking spirits. That's number one. The blue kite, wherever the fuck she is probably locked up somewhere, or she's fucking dead for now. And we got 10,000 years of bullshit to go through. But we don't have to just be subject to that bullshit. Within every human being is the ability to combat the darkness or assist the darkness. I believe from the collective power of humanity, the blue kite, the white kite, can rise again. Imagine just a scenario where the darkness takes over in Avatar world. 10,000 years of darkness. But a bunch of humans get together. They don't do the dark stuff. They form resistance. They operate out of love, whether it's one little area, whatever it is. And they keep that shit locked down. And imagine a blue or white energy came out of each one of these people. And they all merged together and they brought the white kite back into the world. That's how I'm envisioning this in this real world. That's what we need to do. The connections have to do with the chakras. When we master our chakras, we will be able to bring the white kite back into the world. First and foremost, we need authenticity and love. Most of that has to do with disconnecting from this evil world. Evil world. You must disconnect. What does that mean? Remember in Avatar when, and I'll keep drawing comparisons. You know why it's so easy to draw comparisons from Avatar? Because it's quoting shit and mirroring shit that goes on in the real world. That's why. It's not because it's a funny show that I like, and it's not because I'm unrealistic child that just wants to draw comparisons to a TV show. No, a lot of this shit from the show inspired by the real world. So pick it up. Next, as I was saying, remember in the episode when Avatar Aang went to meet the Master Yogi, and he gave him the banana and onion juice? Yeah. And he had to connect to his higher self. It wasn't the kite spirit, but it was his higher self, which is connected to the true and pure spirit world and the powers beyond that govern life. And it was a big ass version of Aang, and he was like purple. His eyes were, he was constantly in Avatar state, and he looked kind of angry, kind of grumpy, and he was just floating. And Aang was on this spiritual pathway that like passed into his body, and he had to walk this, he's astral projecting, he had to walk through this and reach where the highest spirit was to unlock his full potential. And Aang failed. You know why he failed? Guess why he failed? He had connections to the physical world. It's not bad to be in the physical world and participate in what's going on. It's bad to be so connected to it that you deep down inside cannot fathom another version of existence. You cannot accept another version of existence separate from this physical world. That's where he fucked up. Some people just see it, interpret it as what it is in the show, especially since it's a kid's show, and it's like, he just didn't want to let go of his love. And love is attached to the physical world because he's focusing on physical body as well. And she's a real physical person. He can't perceive, and he doesn't want to perceive a world, a life without Katara. And Katara is in the physical world. That is a physical world. That's a firm attachment to the physical through Katara. That's why he couldn't go higher. But we in the human world, we gonna need to do what Aang could not do. Some of us have already done it. I kind of want to say I've done it, but I don't know. Because I'm still pretty attached to the world in the ways of I want to see the world become a better place. But many of the things that go on in this world, I could give a fuck less about. I could give a fuck less. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about what nobody's talking about, what's popular, and what is the new things. And if it's not aligned with the truth and a healthy lifestyle and love, I don't give a fuck. And I will form no attachments to that shit. If you bring that shit to me, I'm going to just give you a blank stare and be interactive. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be clandestine. I'm like, oh, that's nice. But I'm not interacting with that shit, and I'm not connecting to that shit at all. And depending on what it is, I might just tell you to go away. Get the fuck away from me with that shit. That's disgusting that you're even involved in that. I can't. I don't think we can continue to be associated with one another if you're doing that. I don't even want to see that shit. That shit is fucking disgusting. I don't want to see that. And I'm definitely not participating in that shit with you. Now let's stop drawing. I'm gonna stop referencing Avatar specifically and start focusing more on the real world. In the real world, this is our situation. And you can draw parallels to Avatar on your own. We have a humanity. We have a human species, yes? Once upon a time, majority of the people on this planet were black. For obvious fucking reasons, besides the fact that our DNA points to us being more related and more of origin to this planet, you need melanin, specifically neuromelanin and a certain kind of melanin in your skin to not get cooked alive by the sun. I don't know what person out there believes that somebody is naturally from a place when they cannot be in that place naturally. That doesn't make any sense. You know who I'm alluding to, but I'm not going to say that word because you know who I'm alluding to. If you was in a space, for example, quick analogy, quick example. If you were working at a job that was about firefighter job, but every time you went on a job, you fucked some shit up or you got burnt, are you good for that environment? Is that environment good for you? Are you cohesive? Are you natural? Do you feel like that's a natural thing that you can do? Like that's just where your gift is at? No, because you're not doing it. You can't do it. Every time you do, you don't. So you need to go somewhere else, or you're not from here. That at least that much is understood, right? So what the fuck does it look like that creatures that don't even have our level of sentience, who have not been manipulated or affected by man, all can take the sun? They can sit in the sun. They bask in the sun. Even the motherfuckers who are not on dry land enjoy the sun. Plenty of species. And they bask in the rays. They need the rays. What the fuck do you look like to where when you go outside, the same rays are cooking your ass alive? Anyway, majority of humanity was brown. Dark melanin. Needed, necessary, yes. Okay? Aside from that, we had spiritual connection. I'm not going to say it was like Avatar because I don't know and I don't think it was. I think most of our spiritual connection came from a place of understanding on a more contextual level first, right? Even there are more ancient societies who understood stuff like Egypt or ancient Sumeria or ancient Native Americans, ancient Indians. They did a lot of ritualistic things. They smoked herbs. They meditated. They made architecture. They made tools. They made instruments. These things more contextual, but still by doing those things they came to understand the spiritual realm, which is beyond. That knowledge is essential to being a human being. A human being is made of 3 layers, and even in Christianity and other religions who try to stave away from purely fit spiritual information because they want to make you focus on a religion, have to admit this. Right? In the Bible it says it replaces the spirit, and it says it's of the Holy Spirit. Right? So it's the mind, the flesh, and the spirit. But it's the Holy Spirit. But you made it 3 layers. But what's important, what makes everything run, what oils up your gears, is not the mind, it's the spirit. So it is essential. We cannot have a good experience and live our fullest potential as human beings on this planet without spiritual connection. It is fundamental to our existence. Just like in the avatar state, you not doing no shit with your chakras, not really, and you definitely not bending no elements if you don't have that spiritual connection, or if the spiritual connection is cut off. Remember Korra's dumbass. What happened? What did Korra do that pissed off everybody and set the avatar world up to become like our world? She destroyed the avatar connection. Now nobody can bend any fucking elements ever again. What does that sound like? What world does that sound like? Today's world. What did Korra's world look like? It looked more closer to our world than it did anything else. Even though it still used a little bending. Them niggas had machines. That shit looked like the industrial age, basically. With steam engines and shit. You can make all that shit work without bending. Korra made sure of that with her dumbass. And now we're on the way. I mean, they're on the way to this. We already here. Time skip. We already here. Korra dumbass fucked it up for everybody in the real world already. We need to undo. We need to undo. And I don't hate Korra. And I don't hate whatever reasoning as to why it is the way it is in the world. Everything is supposed to be the way it is, and that's the way that it is. And you know why I believe in that so firmly? First of all, because I don't know shit. Even all the stuff that I'm telling you is very little information compared to what amount of information exists. It's like this. This is me. This entire fucking room is the amount of available information. I'm not tapped into that shit. I don't know that shit. Nobody does. So it will be the height of ignorance and arrogance for me to assume that I know the way everything completely. And I'm not arrogant. And I'm not ignorant. So I do not assume that, and I will not say that. But what I will say is what I have come to know and what the universe has allowed me to know. And that is, whatever solutions that are going to save humanity, that are going to help majority, if not everybody, be in a better state than they are right now, reside in the power of love and in spirituality and understanding spirituality. I stand by that. Yes. Especially because there's so much evidence that the people who came before us, who lived better lives, longer lives, healthier lives, had better civilizations, have better technology, are did shit that we still don't understand today. With our advanced technology, with your fucking iPhone, I don't have my phone, with your fucking iPhone, that's a fucking piece of baby toys compared to the shit that people were doing before us. And you know why? Because they had that knowledge. Because they had that spiritual connection. Spirit was showing them shit, teaching them shit that no amount of your human brain just fiddling around with the leftovers is going to figure out. You're not going to figure that shit out. Spirit has to talk to you. You have to be connected to the source to get that information. Without it, you will not move past a certain point. You will not move, and you will not understand. Period. It's not up for fucking debate. You can't brute force your way past it and keep smashing into it with your head. No. The only time you learn new shit is when it occurs to you. How do things occur to you if they're not under your control to make them occur? If you could make things occur, you would need to be thinking hard and working hard to get results. You would need to explore things and understand new perspectives to get results. It would just occur when you want it to. But it doesn't do that because it's not under your control, because it's under the control of spirit. It responds to your energy, but it's not under your control. Right? Leonardo da Vinci was born in a certain way and he has certain gifts. That's something else the spirit does. Sometimes niggas just got gifts. Everybody got something. Some people feel like their gifts are nothing because they're not really big. Wrong. Everybody has a gift. Okay? Everybody got one. Spirit starts us off with what we need and what it wants us to have for our specific journey in this world. For what we need to understand and for what we need to show other people so that they can understand. Everybody's playing the game and we all need each other to reach the final boss. You feel me? Okay? That's true. Spirituality is the key. Love is the key. I touched on that in another video, and I was talking about just black community specifically, which is still very true. But it applies to more than black community. It also applies to our enemies. This is a big one. Most people are not ready to hear this. We cannot exist in any form of hate or negative emotions. You going through your negative emotions and trying to feel some shit from a space of negativity is going to shut you down. Even if you think it's righteous, even if you think it's right. You know why? Because what you're doing is you're denying and you're trying to work against the universe. The universe is unbiased. There are different representations of universal energy, but the universe as a whole is unbiased. It's unbiased. That's why evil shit exists. Okay, it comes from the same place the good shit comes from. Creation. God, whatever. It comes from there. It comes from the same place. It doesn't come from a foreign place and intrude upon the space. No, no, no. They all come from the same source. That evil nigga over there, that's fucking kids, he was created by the same source. The same source energy is in his ass that is in that Buddhist monk over there that's still a virgin and has been meditating since he was 6 years old. And he lives a very holistic and clean and pure life. The same energy exists in both of these individuals. Did I say their actions should go unpunished? No. The universe shows us every energy has a response and every reaction has a reaction. They deserve their due. But harboring hate in your heart for them will drag you down to their level. It will stop you from your complete ascension. It will stop you from completely embodying love. Like I said, love is multifaceted and it applies to everything. You must also show love to your higher self and to yourself and to the universe. How can you do that while simultaneously hating what has come from the universe? It's not possible. He came from the universe. We are the universe. He's not even a he. He is me. I am him. We are we. We are the universe. Different expressions of the same energy. Period. Not up for discussion. That white man, he is me. I am him. Different expressions of the same energy. I don't give a fuck if he's a Ku Klux Klan member. I'm not going to be dumb and go try to hug his ass because he's expressing himself in a certain way. He's expressing the negative aspects of the universe, which means he's going to do some negative shit to me. But I know in my heart of hearts and in my spirit that we are not different. I would love to live by that truth, but if it's not possible for him, it's not. But that doesn't change the truth. The truth is we both come from the same source. Harboring some animosity and creating separations between us separates me from source. I want to be with source. I want to be with love. I want to be with truth. In my heart of hearts, that's where I want to be. I cannot stand this world sometimes, but I understand it's supposed to be. And I don't harbor hate. And then when I do, I push that shit out and I remember and I remind myself, no. You cannot exist that way. All that's going to do is make you low vibrational. You're going to be mad and sad and upset. Then you're going to see somebody and you're going to try to blame some shit on them. You're going to see a white man and be like, the world is horrible because of you. This is a random bitch trying to get her coffee. And I'm out here talking about mean mugging or being a nuisance. Some people go the extra mile and they might attack a bitch on the subway because she's white. Just making a problem worse. Remember the black kite? When he's in control, what happens? When the negative energy is in control, what happens? Humans versus humans. For all the pettiest reasons. For no reason. Sometimes just indiscriminate violence and confusion. It doesn't matter how you slice it. It doesn't matter how you approach it. It doesn't matter what passions might have driven you to make that negatively charged decision. It's still negative, and you're operating in the negative energy. No more negative energy. We must move towards the positive. We must grow. We must remember. Good and spirit is the only way. And through doing that and through understanding our chakras, I'm sure maybe at some point as well, we might get to do some elemental bending in this bitch. But I don't know. Anyway, that was my video. Hope you enjoy it. See you next time.